Hey students, we just got back on campus here from our couple mission trips that we do every year. We this year went to Nicaragua and we took 96 students with us. They helped build 16 houses. And while we were there, I was thinking of my own first mission trip experience. I was in high school. I was a junior in high school and we were going to Costa Rica on a mission trip to serve with an organization called Face of Justice. And I remember being super nervous to go. I had never been on something like this before. We were going with our church, and one of the ministries that we were doing there was a ministry called Bible Distribution, which is essentially you go house to house down this street, and the goal of the ministry is to put a Bible in every home in Costa Rica. And so we broke off into teams, and they said, everybody in each team is going to take a house, and you're going to lead a house. And so I was a timid, shy junior in high school, and said, I don't want to do anything. I just want to sit back and watch you guys do it. But they said, no, every 7 houses, you're going to go up and you're going to lead that house. And so we had quarters, and the way that we would get the people's attention was we would bang the quarters on the gate outside of their house, and we'd yell, Opa, Opa, and that was our way of saying, hey, let us in. We want to give you a Bible and just talk to you. Now, if we did that in America, that would be pretty terrifying, I think. Anytime we hear a knock on the door or a doorbell, I think we all run and hide. But there, they were all so welcoming and just warm. I remember the house that I was leading, the very first house that I was supposed to lead and talk with the family. I was really nervous. But this elderly guy came up to the door, and through a translator, I told him that we were there to talk about Jesus and to give him a Bible if he wanted one. He welcomed us into his home. He played guitar for us. He had this strange orange soda, which to this day I don't know what it was, but it was great. And he just welcomed us in as family. And throughout that whole trip, the reason why I bring it up is because we had this kind of theme verse for that trip. And it came from Micah 6:8. And so I want to read it for you. You might be familiar with this passage. It's a pretty well-known passage, but it's from the prophet Micah, chapter 6, verse 8. And it says this: He has told you, O mortal, what is good, and what does the Lord require of you, but to do justice, and to love kindness, and to walk humbly with your God. That was our theme verse through the trip. And as I think about those 3 commandments, he says to do justice, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with God. I think those are 3 pretty easy commandments to hear, but sometimes they're hard to live out and to do. And so the first one, to do justice, sometimes it can be confusing. Like, what does it mean to do justice? Well, I think for you in your context, maybe that means just standing up for what is right. There are so many opportunities where we can bend to what society says, or we can kind of fall in the shadow of what other people are doing. But what does it look like for you to go against the current, to stand up for what is right, and to look out for those around you, to do what is right in the face of adversity, or even in the face of when other people are telling you not to, and to have courage to do what is right. But the second one is to love mercy. What does it mean to love mercy? Well, I think when we think about the word mercy, it means to have compassion on others. We've been shown grace and we've been shown mercy by God. And so what does it mean to look at others with compassion and with generosity, to maybe see somebody that's struggling? Maybe you're on a sports team or in your family or a friend that's maybe struggling to have a particularly bad week. What does it mean to love mercy? Well, maybe it means to have compassion on them, to hear them out, to listen to them, to be a solid friend in that moment. But the last one, to walk humbly with God. I think humility is one of the key factors of the Christian life. But humility is also strange. It's one of those things where if you try to grasp for it, you're probably going to lose it. If you say you have humility, it's probably an indicator that you don't have it. It's one of the paradoxes of the word and what it means. When we talk about humility in the Christian life, I think about kind of real estate agent. A real estate agent might say, it's all about location, location, location. We might say the Christian life, it's all about humility, humility, and humility. There's this level of which, in order for me to follow Christ, I have to have a certain level of dependence. I need to first understand that I need him in my life, that I can't do it on my own, that I'm not strong enough on my own. And so Micah says to walk humbly with God. It means that, Lord, I recognize that I can't walk on my own. The only reason why I'm living or breathing or here today is because you have given me life and you have given me grace. And so I walk with you humbly, knowing that you are the sustainer of my life. And as you have that outlook, it helps you to have compassion and to love mercy, and it helps you to do justice in your life. And so Micah says that these are 3 commandments that the Lord requires of us. And so for you, as you're sitting there or wondering, what does God require of me as a disciple? This is a great text to turn to and say, okay, Lord, what do you require of me today? It might even be a great prayer that you can pray every morning. Lord, what do you require of me? To seek out justice, to do what is right, to love mercy and have compassion on others, and to walk humbly with you, recognizing my need for you in my life. So I hope that encourages you and challenges you. We all need that reminder, so I'm not just speaking at you. I'm taking that for myself as well and trying to apply it as well. So take care. It's good to see you guys, and God bless.